Talk about the takeaways from the DNC. News4JAX political analyst Jennifer Carroll back here in the morning show. Good to have you here. If you compare and contrast, Hillary Clinton's message is that we've got to make shared sacrifice. Donald Trump's message is, I alone can fix it. Did Hillary's speech last night resonate with the electorate?
Well, her electorate, for sure, and she did a pretty good job in comparing and contrasting herself to Donald Trump. She indicated that Donald Trump cannot relate to the middle class, that she can relate more to women, equal pay, parenting, and so forth than Donald Trump can. Donald Trump is all for himself, and he doesn't really have his products made in this country. He takes it overseas. She's a fighting person. She's the one that's battle-tested. He doesn't have the temperament. He can be baited with a tweet, and I think those things were pretty effective from her communication last night.
All right, so it resonated with her base, but then you've got a lot of independents and Republicans out there who are among the 40% of the electorate who are undecided. And she tried to bring them into the fold. What do you think they thought of her speech?
Well, I think particularly for the women's issue or the family issue, the family paid leave and the free college and tuition, some of those people may be wooed to go her way. It's going to come out during the debate. September 26th will be the first debate. How are these things going to be paid for? What she says, all of the things that is going to be paid for by the 1%er, the big corporations, the taxes that they're not paying now. But if the loopholes are still in place for these corporations to take advantage of, you're not going to have that much tax to pay for these things. So she hasn't addressed the tax base as to would those things be revamped to make sure that there's money there to pay for all of the free stuff or the extra programs. Then she also says in her first 100 days, she's going to have the Congress come together and meet with these people so that they can formulate a plan, her plan that she's going to lay out. How is it going to be paid for? That will come up in the debate.
101 days to November 8th. How does the campaign and the road to the White House now, 102 days?
Yes.
All right, I'm a journalist. I don't do well with math. How does the campaign now on the road to the White House change from what it was during the primary?
It's going to change because now we're going to see the heated battle between the two candidates. We think we've seen a battle, but the conventions have laid out exactly what the platform is going to be in attacking the other person. So if you think you're bombarded with a lot of commercials and negative ads, it's going to just ratchet up even more so, which is a bit sad because each candidate ought to be focusing on what they bring to the table and their plan and their vision to help America. If Hillary Clinton has painted Donald Trump as the person that sees the darkness of America and she sees the brightness of America and its people, so those two contrasts is going to come about in attacking each other. You're not being realistic. For one, Donald Trump could paint Hillary Clinton as that, and Hillary Clinton can paint Donald Trump as you're not seeing the positiveness in our country. Hillary Clinton did bring out last night, let's work together. Donald Trump wants to do this alone, and he wants to be like a dictator. So those things are going to come up a lot and resonate a lot in the ads that we're going to be seeing and the attacks against each other.
I think what strikes me when you balance what happened in Cleveland 2 weeks ago, what happened in Philly this week, is there simply is no middle ground.
Well, right now, there's not. And that's where the fight is going to be for that middle ground, because you have the independents and a lot of people that have not made up their mind because they haven't been sold on these two candidates. I tell you, the Green Party candidate have picked up a lot of steam from this convention. The Bernie Sanders people, even last night, they were interrupting Hillary Clinton during her speech, and many of the other speakers, they were interrupting as well. So even though she reached out to Bernie Sanders voters, they still weren't embracing her 100%. So she has a lot of work to do there. So without his supporters plus her own base and then wooing over some of the Republicans, which she reached out to, and independents as well, she may not win, but she knows her challenges, and she's going to go after those people in a methodical way to get them to come into her tent.
I think it's fair to say there's no unity in either party. By the way, we'll talk more about this when Jennifer joins me along with John Falconetti on This Week in Jacksonville. Always a pleasure.
Likewise.